We got our first female Supreme Court justice on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is September 21st, 2023. It is the 264th day of the year. There are 101 days left in 2023. It is the 38th Thursday in the 38th week and the 93rd day of summer. There are 2 days left until fall. Today is National Escapology Day. Ask any magician, street performer, or daredevil. Escaping restraints is not for the faint of heart. And that's what makes Escapology Day so special. So special they gave him a day, September 21st. Escapology is defined as the art of escaping any and all restraints, including straitjackets, handcuffs, and cages. This is what Harry Houdini specialized in, and it's also what killed him, they think. All right, let's see what else September 21st has given us. 1843, the crew of a schooner captained by John Williams Wilson takes possession of the Strait of Magellan on behalf of the Chilean government. 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor is unanimously approved by the U.S. Senate as the first female Supreme Court justice. Sandra Day O'Connor was born on March 26, 1930. And she was an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court serving from 1981 to 2006. She was nominated by President Ronald Reagan, and she was the first woman both nominated and confirmed to the court. Renowned for her meticulously researched opinions, O'Connor, a moderate conservative, became a crucial swing vote during her tenure in both the Rehnquist Court and the initial phase of the Roberts Court, which is what's going on right now, the Roberts Court. Before her historic appointment to the Supreme Court, O'Connor was an influential figure in Arizona politics. She became the first female majority leader of the state Senate by leading the Republicans in the Arizona Senate. When President Reagan nominated her to the Supreme Court, the Senate confirmed her unanimously. However, by July 1st, 2005, O'Connor decided to step down, pending the confirmation of her successor. By January 31st, 2006, Samuel Alito had taken her place on the court. O'Connor's judicial legacy is multifaceted. While she generally aligned with the court's conservative members, she was also known to side with its liberal justices occasionally. O'Connor's opinions often sought to define and limit the scope of the court's rulings. After her retirement, she became the chancellor of one of the colleges of William and Mary, succeeding Henry Kissinger. In recognition for her service and influence, President Barack Obama awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom on August 12, 2009. She is still alive to this day. She is 93 years old. But yes, on this day, September 21st, O'Connor was confirmed by the U.S. Senate with a vote of 99-0. 1996, the Defense Marriage Act is passed by the United States Congress. The Defense of Marriage Act was signed into law by President Bill Clinton on September 21st, the same day it was passed, 1996. The act defined marriage as a union between one man and one woman for federal purposes. It also prevented same-sex couples from receiving federal benefits that other married couples received. 2003, the Galileo spacecraft is terminated by sending it into Jupiter's atmosphere. They picked up some data when it was crashing in, but it was planned. Movies released on September 21st, 2007, Into the Wild. A top athlete and student who recently graduated from college abandons his possessions and savings to live in the wilderness, where he meets a series of characters who shape his life. Sean Penn wrote and directed this film. Now, it's a true story, or based on a true story, I guess you could say. The real thing is Christopher McCandless did decide to do this. He got out of college, his parents wanted him to do this, go into this business, and he just kind of bailed on everything. Sold his car, all of his possessions, and sort of started hitchhiking across the country. And he wanted to get to Alaska and just live off the land for a while. He was, one of those I'm finding myself type things. Sadly, he was totally unprepared for what happened. I mean, he had a rifle with him. He moved into the Alaskan outback. He found an old abandoned school bus that other people lived in before him, and he started living in there. Well, when he ran out of supplies, he tried to get back to the road into civilization. The small creek he had passed in the summer was now a raging river, and he couldn't pass it. And the weather was too bad for him to try and find another way. He tried a couple different areas. He couldn't get across this river, and he eventually died. The movie earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Editing and Best Supporting Actor, Hal Holbrook. Now, if you watch this movie, I knew the story, I read the book. If you watch the movie, it's a little artsy. So if that's something that bothers you, I know a lot of people really hate artsy type movies and the editing's just a little weird and some people don't dig it. Just keep that in mind before you start watching it. But it is a really good movie. Sadly, at the end, Christopher McCandless does die of exposure and starvation. Basically, he just couldn't do it. Born on September 21st, 1947, Stephen King, author whose best-selling horror, science fiction, and suspense novels include Carrie, The Shining, Misery, and the Dark Tower series. His numerous literary honors include a Bram Stoker Award, an O. Henry Award, and a National Book Foundation medal. Everyone knows who Stephen King is. I've read so many things about him over the years, like every single day he treats it like work. He goes into his office and he writes 10 pages. For whatever book he's working on. He doesn't quit till he has 10 pages, or I guess, time's up, 5 o'clock. He treats it like a normal work day, I guess. I don't know how true that is. I kind of read it in an article. Who knows? He spent his childhood poring over horror books, comic books, and films, and he especially loved Tales from the Crypt and Dracula. He graduated from the University of Maine in 1970 with a bachelor's degree in English. He was hit by a van in 1999, an accident that collapsed his lung and broke his hip. Shortly after the accident, however, he returned to writing fiction 7 days a week. Died on September 21st, 1947, Harry Carey. Now, it's not the Harry Carey that you're probably thinking of, who was the Cubs announcer forever. This was a 20th century film actor who earned an Oscar nomination for his role in the 1939 film Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. He also starred in the 1918 film Straight Shooting, which was the first film directed by John Ford. He earned a law degree from New York University and never practiced. One of his last acting roles was opposite of Katharine Hepburn in a 1947 film called The Sea of Grass. Now, I put him up here originally because I thought it was Harry Carey, the announcer. Then as I read, I'm okay, it's not the same Harry Carey. But Harry Carey, the baseball announcer, was the Chicago Cubs announcer, and he would drink the whole game. And he would get progressively drunk, and his announcing would get a little weird. I have a friend, well, we haven't talked to each other in 20 years, but Hal Sparks is a stand-up comedian. He's got a YouTube channel now. He did a great bit about Harry Carey because Harry Carey would always throw out these miscellaneous facts that nobody needed. And in his thing, Hal Sparks saw, there's Pedro Lopez rounding third base, carrying the weight of his father's suicide on his shoulders. There's Mike Piazza swinging a foul ball. Probably has something to do with his groin injury. In parentheses, it says venereal disease. Yeah, that's a great bit. Hal Sparks was hysterical when he used to do comedy. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.